The stock market has been an absolute bloodbath over the past week, but has presented some incredible buying opportunities for the savvy investors out there, particularly last night.
Why you not here with me? Can you break bread with me? Ice with bone, I was like, oh.
How's it going, guys? Ryan here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about what's been going on in the stock market over the past week, in particular the absolute bloodbath that has occurred with the Dow Jones and all the other markets, and what actually happened last night where we saw a massive recovery. But before we get into it, if you'd please like my video, it helps me out so much, and subscribe for more content. And if you've got any comments, queries, or discussion points, leave them in the comments section below. Now, if we go back to my last video, I was talking about how the stock market was absolutely plummeting over the past few days, and that was as a result of large fears due to the coronavirus, as well as the US markets and fear from investors as they gotten a bit too lax, and a slight drop turned into a major snowball effect where lots of people just started selling off their shares. And what we actually saw after that video was a continuation of that fall throughout that week. And overall, the stock market actually dropped. In particular, Dow Jones dropped roughly 4,000 points, which is an absolutely incredible sum. But something really interesting occurred yesterday, Monday, and that was an increase of roughly 1,300 points on the Dow Jones. And that works out to be about 5.1% increase, which is absolutely enormous, and that is the sort of thing you really don't see too often. But what that's actually done is presented some incredible buying opportunities for savvy investors, in particular traders looking to make a quick buck. In the previous week, we saw lots of short traders and that sort of thing capitalizing on shares dropping in value quite drastically in a lot of circumstances, but we're starting to see the reversal of that now with a large increase in the Dow Jones of the 1,300 points. We have seen a sharp bounce in a lot of stocks on the stock market, allowing both long-term investors and traders to enter at really good prices, and in particular hold on to those fundamental stocks which they think are going to do really well long term. They've effectively bought a stock which is really good for a really cheap price, more than likely. Or if you're a trader, basically what you've done is you bought that share and then you quickly sold it on the same day, as you saw shares regularly increasing 10-20% due to the absolute liquidity and volatility that was happening in the stock market on Monday. Now, why did this massive bounce actually occur? Now, typically when you see a stock in particular decrease significantly in price or increase significantly in price, you'll see the reverse effect occur very quickly and very sharply. And this can indicate one of two things. Firstly, it can show that there is strength in a stock, or it can show, secondly, that it is a dead cat bounce and it's just a sharp capitalization of shareholders and a continuation of the downtrend that has sort of instilled itself all of a sudden. Now, this would occur with any general stock, but in this situation, we're talking about the stock market as a whole. And this is due to the fact that so many stocks decreased in value so quickly that inevitably there was going to be a bounce because A, there's gaps that have clearly occurred in a lot of stocks. B, there's so many buying opportunities that we discussed, but C, there's also been a lot of stuff happening in the world economy. For instance, the coronavirus fears have sort of subsided. It looks like China is releasing information saying, hey, we've actually got this sort of thing under control. Whether or not they have, that puts a bit more confidence in investors. And you also see a lot of biomedical companies actually putting a lot of time and research into a potential cure for this coronavirus. And as a result, we are seeing a few companies coming out saying that they can go into human trials and testing in the coming weeks and have potential vaccines in the very near future. Now, if we couple this with the fact that the US expected to see rate cuts coming in the near future, we can see a lot of the stronger sentiment coming back to the market, and investors are feeling like, hey, this is a great time to actually get in and take advantage of the opportunity. So not only has the decrease in shares been absolutely painful for a lot of investors, there has been opportunity out there for people to actually capitalize on this instance where the stock market has dropped so significantly if they've had a bit of cash on the side, or if they had the foresight to sell their shares at the start of the drop and even potentially buy them back at a lower price. Now, the next few days are going to be extremely telling, and we're going to really understand if we're seeing a dead cat bounce where the price is sharply increased just due to a severe drop and then it will continue to decrease, or if it is the recovery that shareholders are hoping to see. And we'll need to see the next few days and likely the next few weeks and months to really understand the whole picture of what's going on. But you'll be able to sort of gauge exactly what's going on basically from tomorrow's trading, due to the fact that you're going to see either a continuation of the drop itself, or you'll see that we continue to have increases in the market. Hopefully what we're going to see is a few days of green, maybe a bit more pullback, just to sort of, because the price of shares has increased so sharply, the Dow Jones has increased so sharply, just to counteract that a bit. So a bit of stability, and it's always a good thing that we have a pullback on share prices all the time. You can't always keep going full bottle ahead, but we want to be seeing a few consecutive days of green, bit of red pullback, doesn't matter, but then that continuation of the uptrend we've been seeing on the Dow Jones and on all the markets as a whole overall. Now, if I was an investor with a bit of cash on the side, what I'd be looking for is what exactly happens tomorrow and what stocks are the safest ones to go in. So hopefully I'd see an increase tomorrow, and as a result, I'd take that as a buy opportunity. And the shares I'd be focusing on are your safer sort of shares, mainly your blue chips with solid fundamentals in them, and gold stocks, particularly the gold miners themselves, which are already producing, as gold is generally where you hedge your bets when the market is so volatile, unstable, and you don't really know what's going to happen. The gold stocks generally seem to perform better. I'd really like to know what you guys think, because that's going to be a really interesting discussion point, and I've seen a lot of different opinions flying around on Twitter, on Hot Copper, and in the news by financial experts and just your day-to-day general retail traders such as myself. And there's a lot of different opinions, so leave yours down below. Let me know what you think's going to happen. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to give me a like and remember to subscribe for more content. And with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Why you not here with me?